Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about an essential oil blend from Eden's Garden. It's called Fighting 5. On my channel I review natural products. None of the products that I review are PR samples, nor are they sponsored. So if you're looking for honest reviews, please subscribe below, turn on notifications, and you'll get the latest content. If you haven't heard of Eden's Garden, they are not an MLM. Okay, so they're not multi-level marketing such as doTERRA or Young Living. They are similar to plant therapy as far as their ethics as well as their prices. So multi-level marketing, they usually have higher prices because everybody along the tiers has their hand out and they're getting paid for it. Eden's Garden has won awards. So Dr. Pappas from Essential Oil University has a poll every year, and Eden's Garden has consistently won. They won in 2016 and 2017. They started with just having essential oils and essential oil blends. They also have a Safe for Kids line, and they do work with 2 aromatherapists, and I'm going to put information below in the description box so you can see about that. They also have expanded a little bit. They're offering body oils, they have some natural perfumes, they have soap as well, they have diffusers and carrier oils, but it is a pretty limited product line that they do have. So this is, it's 100% pure essential oil. So it says right here at the top, I'm not sure if you can see it. This does not mean that it is safe for everyone. So a lot of people think pure and natural is safe, and they think of like butterflies and rainbows and puppies, but they don't see the darker side of natural. You have natural disasters, you have poisonous plants and animals. You even have things that look fine, such as honey or peanuts, and these can cause reactions in people. This product, Fighting 5, there is a story about this. This is based on 4 Thieves. So if you haven't heard of the 4 Thieves story, what this is it says during the bubonic plague, during the Black Plague in Europe, everyone was dying. There were some thieves who took advantage of the situation, and they were robbing the dead bodies, or perhaps even the entire houses. They were robbing them. And what they would do is they created this type of potion with white vinegar. It was a white vinegar base, and they added various herbs into it. And I wrote them down. So if you check on Wikipedia, you can check it out. They had things like wormwood, meadowsweet, marjoram, sage, clove, rosemary, camphor. There are a few I haven't even heard of. I'm not even sure how to pronounce, but hovehound, campanula. They also had rue, lavender, garlic. They had a variety of herbs that they would put in distilled vinegar or regular white vinegar. They'd leave it for about 15 days, and then they'd kind of strain it out, and they would put it on their hands, feet. They might even cover their faces with a fabric mask and have that on there so that they wouldn't breathe it in. Like, it would kind of protect them from all the germs and everything. And if you check on Wikipedia, or if you look on other websites as well, what it says is that these herbs that they were using were kind of insect repellents, like natural insect repellents. They repelled fleas. And as we know, or most people know, that fleas were spreading this horrible death that just decimated Europe and killed a large part of the population. If you check online, there are a variety of recipes for 4 Thieves. And this particular recipe, Fighting 5, has 5 ingredients in it. If you check on the back, it just has the regular vernacular terms for the ingredients. It does not have the Latin names. So they have clove, cinnamon, rosemary, lemon, eucalyptus. Rosemary and eucalyptus have more than one form, as does cinnamon as well. The rosemary that they have in here is the Moroccan rosemary, and they actually have 2 eucalyptus essential oils in here. They have the one that starts with the G, the globulus, and the one that starts with the R, which is radiata. It's not on the back here, but if you check on their website, they do actually list the exact ingredients that they have in here. And they say that it helps with congestion, it protects against respiratory troubles, and you can use as 3 to 5% if you're using it topically. You always need to dilute essential oils if you're going to use them topically, and you should never take them internally either. These are used for aromatherapy, which means you can diffuse them. You can put them inside of a necklace. There's cotton inside here. This is a diffuser necklace, or you can put them on topically when you use a carrier oil. Never ever use them neat. People say that lavender and tea tree oil you can use neat. That is not true at all. You do need to dilute them. Now, as I mentioned before, Eden's Garden has a kids line. They have something that's called OK for Kids. This is not okay for kids. You will get MLMs that tell you all essential oils are safe for everyone because their essential oils are pure and natural. One in particular, they have the CPTG, which is Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. This is total BS. There are essential oils that are not safe for everyone. Whether it's your age, the age such as a child, even cats, you have to be very careful when you're diffusing around cats. Or if you have certain medical issues, like pre-existing medical conditions, if you're on medicine, I know certain people who have certain cancers, they have to be also careful about the ones that they use. So please do not believe MLMs. I'm going to link below. So there are two aromatherapists. One is Robert Tisserand, the other is Lee Harris. They have been around for a long time. I know Robert Tisserand has probably been practicing longer than I have been alive, and I am pretty old. They have different views on rosemary and eucalyptus in particular. So Lee Harris says that eucalyptus should not be used with children under the age of 10. Robert Tisserand says eucalyptus should not be used under the age of 3. You can use it over the age of 3, but you have to be very careful about dilution. Like he does say, diffusing is different, but if you are going to use it topically, he has a very low rate of dilution, and I'm going to link below. Okay, so I am not an aromatherapist, but I do get my information from people who are certified in this, certified clinical aromatherapist, not MLMs. So please do your research. You have to be very careful with these. So I really like this. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the outside and then go back to what's on the inside. So this is 10 milliliters. As I mentioned before, I did get this for free. Somebody was giving it away. So on their label, so they just have the basic information in the front. It says it's a synergy blend. And then on the back, they do have the ingredients, what it's used for, and the topical dilution rate. It's in an amber bottle, a glass amber bottle. A lot of them are in these bottles, and this is to keep out light. So the 3 things that can damage your essential oil, besides time. Okay, I know people say they found essential oils in tombs that are thousands of years old. That's true. They're probably still not good. I'm sure they found, for example, food as well, and I wouldn't eat the food that is in tombs that is thousands of years old. They do have a shelf life. So the shelf life of this, according to the Eden's Garden website, is 2 years. So you should use it up within 2 years. So it keeps out the light. Air can also damage your essential oil. And you actually have, you can't see, one thing I don't like about this bottle is here you can see the label comes together. Some of them have a little space and you can kind of see on the side. I cannot, mine has been used to here. As I mentioned, I did get this used. I haven't really used it that much, and I'm going to explain why later on in the video. So make sure you listen to the entire video because I do have important safety information towards the end. Yeah, so there is airspace in here. So the air does interact with the oils. Heat also interacts with the oils. I keep most of my essential oils, or actually all of the essential oils except the ones like this one that I'm talking about now, are in my refrigerator. I don't have a great storage system. I put them inside Ziploc bags according to, like for example, Synergies I have in one place. I have Kid Safe oils in another, single oils in another, and then I put that plastic bag in another plastic bag. So it's kind of double bagged, keeps out the scent. And I also keep it actually where the kind of like the meat is supposed to go. I think the meat and the cheese, the meat, cheese, and butter. And that's where I keep my essential oils and products. And I close that as well. There's no food in there. So some information. So if you look inside, this does have, it's called Eurodropper or Orifice Reducer right here. So you can get it out. The caps. I'm not a fan of the caps of Eden's Garden. I'm going to tell you guys why. So I put this label on here, blue label, and I wrote fight on it, so for fighting 5. Eden's Garden actually sells stickers that you can buy for all their essential oils. I'm pretty sure all, they probably have a few blank ones. And I wish that they would actually just put a sticker on top. Plant Therapy does. It saves so much time. I store my essential oils up and down like this. And when I didn't have a label on here, I would have to lift it up, look at each one, turn around. It was kind of a pain in the butt. And a real simple response would for them to just simply put stickers on the top. I think that would save people a lot of trouble. So I want to talk a little bit, as I said, about safety information. I had a Thieves blend that was not safe for kids, and I used it on myself, and my daughter came in contact with it, and she was under the age of 2. She came in contact with it at night, and then we woke up. I took her to school, dropped her off, wasn't really paying attention. I was in a rush trying to get to work, and I was dropping my other daughter off, and while I was in the car, I started getting frantic texts from her teacher. And I didn't really look at, like, it sounds really bad, but I was in a rush, trying to get her dressed. She's a little child, she's running around, so I wasn't really looking at her in the face. And I was getting a text saying that she had some kind of heart shape on her face. I didn't really know what they were talking about. They said, you have to pick her up now, you have to take her to the hospital. So I took her in, like I went to see her, and she had red, like red on her nose, right around here, like this whole area was red. And then I could see her face was swelling as well, and her eyes were so swollen, like you could barely see them. They were just little slants. And she also had her lymph nodes in her neck were swollen, like both sides were swollen. So like I didn't know what was happening. Obviously something was wrong. So we went to the hospital. We went to the local clinic, and they got us in first. So we didn't have to wait at all. Like we just got right in. I was looking at her. She's fine. She's like laughing and like playing around, and she had a rash as well. Like it started on her stomach, and it started to spread. Like all over, like you could see, like visibly see. Sorry. She had a fever, like she spiked fever at 102. And I didn't know what's going on. So, like, I'm looking online, Facebook, I'm texting everybody, and you're looking, you're like, oh, maybe it's like measles. Like, measles doesn't look like that. Like, measles is very different. And so the rash, it was just on her torso, and she was fine. Like she looked fine, and we went to see the doctor, and they just said she had some kind of allergic reaction. So I texted my work. I sent pictures too, and I was like, I can't come into work. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I have no idea what's going on. So we took her home. Before we left, they gave us a huge list of medicines. So she was taking about 7 medicines, oral medicines. And they also gave her steroids to make sure her throat didn't close. We got home, and the rash started spreading. People said, like, maybe it's hand, foot, and mouth, which I would actually have preferred measles over hand, foot, and mouth. Measles seems to end very quickly. It's not a big deal. Hand, foot, and mouth is, you have to be kept out of school for about 2 weeks. I didn't know what I was going to do. My husband wasn't here. We don't live together due to our work. We work in different places, so we don't live together at the moment. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was also questioning, like, I might need to get fired from my job for not being able to show up. So her rash, it spread. It was just going everywhere. And one of my friends said, it's probably hand, foot, and mouth, hand, foot, and mouth. And I was like, it can't be hand, foot, and mouth. Like, it's not on her hands, feet, or mouth. Like, it's everywhere but there. But it's not there. And so we gave her all these medicines. We took a nap, and her, like I said, her fever went up to 102. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. It's kind of high. It's not that high. It's not high enough for them to actually do much of anything. Usually they want you to have 104 or 106 before they do anything. And just everything went away. Like just by nighttime, like all her symptoms went away. And I couldn't figure out what she had an allergic reaction to. Like everybody was saying, did you use anything new? And I didn't use anything new. Like everything I had was the same thing. And I finally figured out I had used a Thieves blend. And I have a few Thieves blend. I have this one. I have an MLM. And neither of those are safe for kids. And I also have one from Plant Therapy. It's called Germ Destroyer. And it is safe for kids. It doesn't smell the same as this. I actually think these kind of smell decently. But it is safe for kids. And I had used this, which is obviously not safe for kids. And she was under the age of 2. I did not use it on her. Did not use it topically. I did not use it, diffuse it. I used it on myself. And she came in contact with it. And I knew that it was something that was in our house. She went to bed at night. She went to bed on Sunday. And she was fine. And then she woke up Monday and she was not. And I used it. I shower at night. And I used it at night. And we co-sleep. So I kind of don't care if you guys agree with co-sleeping or not. Simply stating the facts of what happened. We co-sleep. She got in contact with it. And that was enough for her to end up with all those issues. Like I said, she had a rash that I could visibly see was spreading all over her body. Her face was huge and swollen. They gave us steroids to make sure her throat didn't close. And she was on 7 oral medications. I can't remember how long it was. It was 3 to 10 days. I'm not sure. And that was quite scary. Not the rash, not the fever, but the fact that her throat might close. So eucalyptus, as I found out later, is something that might cause children to have problems with breathing. She did not, luckily she did not stop breathing. Her throat did not close. We did catch it right away. I guess I was lucky. Like I said, I did this at night. She could have had issues at night, stop breathing at night. Luckily she didn't. So this essential oil, as much as I like it, and I have a non-MLM, I am actually going to mail it off to a friend who has older kids because I don't even want it in the house. Just having her come into contact with it was enough to set off a reaction. Is that going to happen to your kids? Like if you diffuse it near babies or young kids? I have no idea. Different people react differently. Like I said, like peanuts, honey. Some people have actually no problems whatsoever, and some kids do. So my daughter had a reaction to this, and I'm getting rid of it. I don't want it in the house. I do like Eden's Garden, even though I did have a bad experience with an essential oil. That was my fault. Like nowhere on this label does it say that it's safe for kids. I do believe that they do have on their website that it's not safe for kids. I do think somewhere on here they should say it's not safe for kids. But if you're familiar with Eden's Garden, they have different labels, the OK for Kids line and the regular line, and this is not one of them. But kind of because, and it does say external use on it, but I believe they should say, not safe for kids or do your own research or something like that. So that was my fault, and unfortunately my daughter did suffer. Luckily we did catch it in time. So sorry, this has been somewhat of a long review. But I do think there is important safety information when you're dealing with Thieves blends. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and to turn on notifications. I'd also like to know a little about your experience. If you've ever tried any of the Thieves blends, as I said, there are tons of blends. You can make them yourself. You can look up recipes. There are stuff that's just safe for older kids, and there's stuff that's safe for kids. Younger kids as well, or if you've tried anything from Eden's Garden. So let me know your experience with the Thieves essential oil as well as Eden's Garden. So see you guys later.